YouTube. How's it going, guys? Welcome to 2026. Guess what, guys? We're all fucked. No, in all seriousness, look, it's gonna be at least a difficult few months. Obviously, before we start, yes, I know I'm in an hoodie and a hat. It's bloody cold outside. Oh my god, why did I do this with this on? I mean, I'm not being funny, but it's bloody cold outside, you know? I mean, look at it. Isn't it pretty all covered in snow, though? God damn, it looks pretty, even in a state like this. But, yeah, it's freaking cold. That's why I'm wearing an hoodie and a hat. And I'm sorry that I'm a little late. It's been a week or so. I'm sorry about that. Content's going to be coming a lot quicker. Couple of issues. I don't know exactly what I've done to my shoulder, but I think I've torn the rotator cuff or something. As it is painful. Like at times it's fine, but then I can just literally reach for something in no stressful way, just reach for something or put my arm in a particular position and then boom, I'm fucked for a good half an hour. Like, it's terrible. And I promise you, I don't know what I've done, but it's absolutely annoying because I want to put my freaking I want to put my capture rig back in my system. But at the end of the day, this thing's kind of heavy on its own. It's even more heavy when you've got the other system in there. I know, obviously, I'm waiting on surgery for things that are causing pain in my arm and stuff. But, yeah. No, whatever I did whilst I was trying to bleed this, which it was futile anyway, because I didn't actually need to do what I was doing. It bled. I was just being an idiot. Yeah, I torn something and it's not comfortable. That's part of the reason that I've been delayed. Another part of the reason has been fucking Amazon. Like, I ordered stuff, which obviously were going to be videos and stuff like, but I ordered stuff and yeah, for some reason Amazon now auto default to bundling everything into one order, which means that the latest thing in that order, what it does is it now waits until it's close enough to that thing for the deliveries for each item to make sense. Say if something says that it's available for free next day delivery, they're not going to even place the order. They take the order, but they won't place the order until a day before, and I've had to wait, which is tomorrow. I have had one thing show up today, but that is an upgrade video for the whole rig, and I would like to have the whole rig back in the freaking case. So everything's kind of been a bit stuck by this and Amazon's delivery service. Hopefully I can figure out a way around that the next time that I'm ordering and stuff. So, should we talk about the elephant in the room? And that elephant obviously is the DRAM situation. Now, I'm still standing strong with what I say. No one at all in the consumer base, no one should be buying RAM at the minute. We will look in future videos. I will have a look and see, I will do my very best to try and find ways for you guys to get your hands on something. I'll try and make it sort of universal, like try and figure out ways that advice that I can suggest that can be international advice, you know, like something that you can search for or whatever, so that you can get something that is going to, you know, run fine, carry you through if you need something. But like, if you don't need to build a PC right now, there is no reason you should be building a PC right now. Now look, I know you can probably sit there and go, well, you're fine, you've got a fucking fast system and that, like, it doesn't matter to you, like, you've already got a gaming system and stuff. Oh, yes, I have. However, I would like to point out that I have a build that has been sort of like slowed down because of production. It took freaking months. I've got parts for it. I haven't got all the parts for it, but I've got parts for it. I've got to get down to the garage so that I can actually build the case. It's going to be a one of one that I will be able to sell to one of you guys. So it's probably going to be auctioned, the first one. The plan is to basically build it, then sell it to one of you guys, and then literally the money from that go into the next build. So they should come a lot quicker. It's just this first one is obviously taking a long time. But now even longer because I haven't got the DDR5. When I had the opportunity to buy the DDR5, I had to get something else. Family comes first, you know. But it's one of those things. So I do need I need to stop doing that. So I do need DDR5 for that system. It doesn't run on DDR4, the options that I went with. So I need DDR5 for that system. Also, I have this. This is a ASRock Z790 PG Riptide. I bought this a little while ago, before I was about to buy some DDR5. Let me tell you that the kits that I was going for with the DDR5 were of very decent timings, and I think it was going to cost me like 180 quid for the 2 kits. So I'm kind of gutted now because I haven't even got the 1 kit. But this is DDR5. So I got this because it was dirt cheap when I found it. I tested it at the time with some extremely cheap DDR5, just the 1 stick. I just grabbed it so that I could test it, make sure everything was working fine on it. It was. I took that stick back to CEX. It was like 20 quid at the time, 30 quid or something, and I returned it anyway. So that was a, I don't know, dumb move, but it was only 1 stick, so it didn't really matter. And it was like, I don't know, 4,800 or something. So my intention was to swap this out because this will literally give my CPU an extra 5 to 25% increase in performance, which I think would alleviate any of the tiny CPU limitations that I see with my 5070 Ti in gaming. And literally this motherboard gives that CPU the best bet for, I hate using this phrase, but sort of future proofing as such, because yes, this is a dead platform, but it is completely up to date. And the reason I went with this board was, again, it was cheap. It was 130 quid. This board is like 200, 250 quid now, but it was 130 quid, and I just grabbed it, tested it, everything worked fine, so I was like, bargain. And then the DDR5 crash happened, so I didn't get anything. But for you guys to understand, this is not just an upgrade on DDR5, it's also an upgrade on M.2 support. In here, I've got 2 Gen 4s and 1 Gen 3. I actually thought it was 3 Gen 4s. It was my fuck up. I wasn't paying attention when I was buying. I kind of irritated myself with that. But, because I thought there was 2 under this bottom bar, but there isn't, there's only the 1. But, by the by, I've got three slots in there. 1 Gen 3 and 2 Gen 4s. So, we'll come to what I'll be doing with that moving forwards. But this comes with 4 Gen 4 drives and 1 Gen 5 drive. In fact, on this side, the top slot, which is usually 1 drive, is 2 drives. That is direct to the CPU, and that carries a Gen 5 drive and a Gen 4 drive, and obviously the 16X PCIe slot. For me, I probably won't populate those because I prefer to just go through the controller. There's really no lag in it, and the other 3 drives are Gen 4, and I'll probably just populate those, leave the top 2 empty, keep my 16X for as long as possible. Not that I think that I would be limited in any way with a 8X PCIe Gen 5 slot. If you're limited on a Gen 4 slot, then it's the same. Do you know what I mean? It's the same sort of throughput. Anyways, so I also want DDR5. So don't think that I'm not pissed off about the situation with the rest of you. But at the end of the day, this is a marketing exercise. The server market has always been more expensive for the hardware than the consumer market. They're just trying to get the consumers to pay as much as the businesses. That's all they're trying to do. They're pushing up to see how far they can push you. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how much the server market's paying for an item. if the consumer aren't willing to pay that much money, if they want to sell anything in the consumer market, they're going to have to drop it down. And they need to sell stuff in the consumer market so that they can stay relevant. Their brand can stay on people's tongues. That's the whole point of the consumer market. So they stay relevant, so people still know who they are. So it's going to crash at some point. Look, they're either going to stop raising the prices and realizing people aren't paying it. People aren't paying it. Shit is just sitting there. If we drop the price in half, it's just going to go off the shelves. That's literally what's going to happen. And at the end of the day, yeah, the hardware that they make into consumer RAM is consumer RAM. It's not server market RAM. It's not the same stuff. So once it's created into what they're going to do, start farming the sticks back to, they're not going to do that. So at the end of the day, yeah, we just got to stay firm. I believe prices are going to drop down. I wouldn't say back to where they were, but a lot closer and more reasonable. But at the minute, we're just going to have to hold it out. Also on the AI side of things, look, at the end of the day, yeah, everyone's fed up of AI. Like, they're sick of hearing it. They're sick of all the AI slop that comes out. They're sick of videos that are just AI voiceovers on top of, like, random snippets of video. Like, people are sick of it. They're literally getting fed up with that shit. And these AI companies, they're being sold fucking snake oil, essentially, right? None of them are making any money at the minute. I need you to understand this, like, that none of the investors that are investing into these AI farms and these companies pushing, like OpenAI and stuff, none of the investors are making any money on that at the minute. There's going to be a point where investors are just like, no, you're not having any more money. You make me money now. Hurry up. You make me money and then we'll talk about me giving you more money. Because that's all that's happening at the moment. The reason Jensen's pushing it so hard is so that people buy his shit before that happens. Like, that is literally what he's trying to do. He's trying to sell as many GPUs as he can before the investors turn around and go, no, we need to start seeing money back first. Like, he's just trying to sell as much stock as possible before the inevitable cease of funding happens. Because at the end of the day, people are only going to spend for so long until they require money back. Because otherwise, you're just throwing money into the wind, aren't you? And most people that invest are not too keen on just throwing money at something that's not going anywhere. So that's the whole point of them pushing AI so hard. But they need the commercial market to stay relevant. Because they need their names on people's lips. That's the whole point of the commercial market. So they need it. They need to stay relevant. Like, at the end of the day, G-Skill's not going to stay relevant if they don't keep putting RAM into people's systems. They will just become a relic thought. Same for Corsair, with a lot of different items, but Corsair has more of a spread across. It's not just RAM, although, to be fair, that's about the only thing of theirs that I use. But you know what I mean. At the end of the day, these companies need to stay relevant, so they need the products in the market. They need people buying the products. They need people saying good things about their products, so that they keep that word of mouth, because it's just as important as making freaking money. But on top of all that, so you've got people fed up with AI shit. You've got the investors are going to reach a point where they don't want to put any more money into it until they start seeing something back, and you're going to get that point where people are just not buying the consumer market stuff, so they're going to have to drop the price anyway to sell it. So just stand strong. You'll be fine. We'll all be fine. We just need to stand strong and wait out the storm. Just stretch out your system a little longer. If you're on DDR4 already, there are obvious upgrade paths for you, and whether you like it or not, the best DDR4 platform that there is 12th gen Intel. People will tell you 13th and 14th gen is fine and new, yes, but I wouldn't buy any of those CPUs second hand, whereas 12th gen is solid second hand. So that would be my suggestion if you really required that boost, because you can, on 12th gen, you can get up to, you know, around 7700X, 9700X, basically right at the nipping at the toes of the X3Ds. And you can also be as fast as the X3Ds on AM4 with just 12th gen Intel, and have a stronger CPU. So that would be my suggestion, but I know a lot of you aren't going to like that suggestion. But in all fairness, even if you're on AM4, if you can get yourself up to, like, say, a 5800X or a 5700X, you don't need that X3D to last you another year or so. Like, the CPU's still going to be able to push the games. Like, if something comes out unoptimized, just wait a few months. They will sort it out because they need people to play their games, right? You don't often get developers like the Borderlands developers where they just they just try to say that it's your fault for not having a fast enough CPU and GPU, you know, with your 9800X 3D and your 5090. It's not fast enough, okay? Just be happy with what you got. Use some upscaling. Oh, 2025. What were you, man? Anyways, moving forward, guys, I've got plenty of content coming up. Like I said, all of the stuff is coming tomorrow for this month. The stuff that I've got to deliver this month, we've got that coming up. That's landing tomorrow. I'll be able to get something done for you. I do have, which is probably going to be coming up on the weekend, I have that battery upgrade for my son's laptop. So if you're curious if there's an upgrade, if you've got a MSA Katana, an older one like an 11th gen, that sort of age, and you're wondering, because it's I think it's a 55 watt hour battery or whatever, and you're wondering if there's an upgrade availability for that, I have a 90 odd watt hour upgrade for that, so stick around, we'll be upgrading that. I'll also be having a quick goosey gander under there to see if there's anything that I can do thermally to just squeeze those last couple of 100 megahertz out of the CPU, basically what it should be giving. It's okay for him, but you know, he's happy. He's pushing a 1440p monitor at his mum's house. He's got a 1080p monitor here, and it's an 11800H and 3070, and that's paired with 32 gigs of 3200 mega transfers a second CL16. Now I'm going to say this now, beyond that, what is it, like 3840 or something, and whatever it is, yeah, they are really tight DIMMs, and I'll be honest with you, getting desktop timings on laptop RAM is not the easiest feat in the world. I managed to get it twice, and one kit is in my mum's laptop, which is just a little Dell thing that she uses for like her vickering and stuff. One kit's in there, that's a Zeus kit team group. I can't remember. I just remember them being Zeus. I'll have to double check. But they were that's a kit of Zeus, and they were actually slightly looser than the kit of Mushkin that went into my son's laptop. Only the back timings. They were still the same C rating, still CL16, 3200s, but the back timings were a little bit tighter on the Mushkins, so I put them in my lad's laptop. So anyways, there's a couple of 100 megahertz that the cooling, because the laptop was never designed for an 11800H, so there's a couple of 100 megahertz to still search out for on that. So I'm gonna see if there's anything that I can add to that whilst I'm in there changing the battery on that. We also very, very soon this month, I'm going to be modding my 5070 Ti. It is time, guys. I've had the thing for months. It looks too standard. It can't stay. I don't like standard. I can't leave hardware alone. So it's getting changed. We are modding that bad boy. We're going to drop its temperatures a little bit just to see if I can just eke out a little bit more performance on a sort of like standard-ish setup. I like to mod my GPUs in such a way that they still look like a GPU, if you get me. Like for example, my 3060 here, I could have just ripped off the cowling, strapped a couple of 120mm fans to this, plugged them into the motherboard, called it a day. I don't like to do that. I like my GPU to be able to do this. So this 3060, which sits, I think, 42nd out of all 3060s that have ever pushed the Port Royale test. We're actually going to overclock this, see if we can push that 40 odd, see if we can just eke that out. So we're going to try that. But this has a fan mod, Noctua A9s, these are, little 92mm fans. They absolutely beast this thing, but I managed to get them so that the cowling still works. Yes, I customized it, and it's a little bit thicker. I'll show you, the card used to look like this. Now it looks like this. So it's a little bit thicker. Also, the backplate is now incorporated. It is a metal backplate, but they never really incorporated it. It's got a plastic sheet under it. So I've cut the plastic sheet back, and I've put a heatsink between the VRAM, the back of the VRAM, and this backplate. So and it does get hot, so it's definitely doing something. Also, this little aluminium heatsink that I threw on the top, that just puts a little bit more pressure onto the back of the die, and that soaks away some of that heat as well. This thing's a little beast. I can't leave things alone, but if you think about it, this is just my 3060. So just wait to see what's going to happen to the 5070 Ti. Look, do I need to? No. Is it necessary for me to mod the card? No. Do I need it to run a couple of degrees lower? No.
Is it fun? Oh, yes.
So first we're going to be modding it. We're not going to customize it yet. I've not decided yet. I could paint it. It might get painted. It might get wrapped. I don't know yet. The advantage with wrapping is I can take it back off. I can literally then reduce everything back to standard. But the modding is going to happen first. We're going to see how it looks. Hopefully it works out just absolutely beautifully. I think it might, but only time will tell, guys. Only time will tell. So that's going to be fun. Stay tuned for that. We've got a load of content coming up. I'm going to be modding this little 10 quid wrist rest thing. Make this thing perfect. I'm going to talk about some of the stuff that is really, really fairly inexpensive and can genuinely make a genuine difference to your gaming experience without you spending loads of money, and you can feel like you've got something new even if you haven't necessarily got something new. Yeah, we've got a lot coming up. I've also got I'm going to be upgrading the PlayStation 5. I went down to the garage, you might have seen some of the shorts. I went down to the garage on Christmas Eve to go help my mate out, and we heavily over-engineered a handbrake mount, a hydraulic handbrake mount for his rally car. Heavily over-engineered because he got me involved. I filmed basically the entire of the process. The only thing I didn't film is I forgot to film the fucking result. So I can't make that video yet. So that's content that should have happened, but it didn't happen. There's also an Xbox there. I think it's a Series S. No, an Xbox One S, I think. There's one of those there that needs me to see if I can repair it. I was supposed to do a video on that. I forgot. I've left it there, so I have to go down and get that. We've also got my friend's PlayStation. She got that storage for Christmas, so we need to be upgrading that for her because she's just like, can you come do it? I'm like, yeah, sound. So that'll be a little mini video coming up. That'll be happening this month. More sort of ergonomic options to try out. Something fairly inexpensive, so I've got that coming up as well. I've been looking into, there is one product in question that I'm literally waiting for the delivery tomorrow so that I can double check my findings before I bitch about it. I'll be honest with you, it's a fairly well-known product, it's a fairly well-known name, and I am right at the edge of heavily bitching about this product, but I just want to wait until the replacement is here. I've tested what I think is happening And then if it's confirmed and stuff, then I'm going to bring my findings straight to you guys. So watch out for that video. That's going to be a bit of a bitchy video, so look out for that. I know you YouTube love the bitchy videos. But yeah, I think with the RAM situation, we all just need to really stay strong. Unless you hadn't noticed, the only people that are literally telling you to buy PCs still, this whole things are getting more expensive, like the whole rumor about the 5090 going up to 5k. Now, I'm not saying that it couldn't happen. It could quite possibly happen, but it is a rumor. It is a fucking leak. Nvidia has not confirmed this, which is how people are trying to speak it out. It is fear-mongering. It is leaks trying to fear-monger. It's people talking about RAM getting more expensive. It can't get any more expensive. People aren't buying it now. Do you know what I mean? I see kits there and it just sits there at that price. So if it's just sitting there at that price, that means people aren't buying it because, there's no stock of RAM friggin' anywhere. So if it's sitting there at a price and it's still sitting there like a week later, no one's buying that fucking price. So they're starting to see it. It's going to go the other way. They're trying to fearmonger you into thinking that it's going to get more expensive. What I need you to understand is these people that are telling you that you should still be buying a PC, you should buy now because things are going to just get worse. Every single channel that does that, I can guarantee, are the channels whose livelihood rely on it. Like, firstly, most of these channels are sponsored by these companies. Like, if a channel is sponsored by Corsair, G-Skill, like, I could literally list a bunch of RAM manufacturers. If a channel is currently sponsored by those companies, they're not going to turn around to you and go, look, you should not buy any RAM until the prices are sorted. They can't do it. So even though they could suggest, I'm not saying that anyone should build a system right now. In fact, you shouldn't. But if you need to, it's probably a better idea to do it now before it gets worse. It's going to get better, not worse. So just stand strong. Don't listen to these. You need to understand that it's either sponsored companies, sponsored YouTube channels, or the other people that are obviously pushing for you to still be buying the hardware, still look at buying a PC, still be in the market for a PC. You should just pay the little extra. Things are just going to be a bit more expensive for you. Those people, they're either system integrators or they've got their own hardware store and they want to keep pushing the sales. Like, at the end of the day, yeah, it's going to be tough. And the people that I feel for the most going into 2026 are the small system integrators. And especially, not necessarily too much the companies like, say for example, Toasty Bros and stuff, because they do still kind of work with older hardware, so they still work with like finding secondhand stuff, throwing it together, giving you a good price on that. So they still have part of their model that's still going to be available and stuff like that. But you've got companies like Zach's company and stuff, like, was it ZZT? I just feel for him, okay? At the end of the day, their company's build is literally new stock. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's new stock. So they need to keep building systems and selling them to keep paying people's wages, to keep the business going. And so they need people to be happy to pay the extra 200-300 quid that's going to go into the system just because of the RAM. And then also the storage. So all the storage has pretty much got 100 quid slapped on top of it. All the RAM has pretty much got like 200 quid slapped on top of it. Like, so basically they're hoping that you're just happy to take the 300 to 400 quid addition to the system, because at the end of the day, they're going to literally end up having to pay that price. Do you know what I mean? Like, I personally think that the OEMs are probably going to be the only ones that have stock to be able to go through this storm, but they're waffling about saying that they don't have the stock to get through the storm, So they have to buy it too, which will explain why their prices are higher. Although, to be honest, I think they probably already have the stock and they just want to charge you more. Like, at the end of the day, this is fucking companies like HP, Dell, and Lenovo. Like, they're going to try and charge you more if they can. And if the market is showing that they can slap 200 quid on their build, they're going to slap 200 quid on their build. Like, so, look, guys, it's going to be a tough year. It's going to be a tough year, but god damn it, we are going to keep freaking going. We're going to keep having some fun with our hardware. We're still going to look at games. I want to do a side-by-side for Ark Raiders, because obviously I got a little bit of hate on the last one. I didn't really do the settings properly, to be fair. I just had a quick look at it. I didn't get to do it properly, have a look at it properly. So I want to go back and I want to do a side-by-side so that I can show you the difference between my settings and obviously cinematic now, isn't it? I do have that one game that someone's asked me to play on stream. I'm saying this now. Fuck you. It is a rage game, let's be honest. And it should be fun, but I can promise you, you're only getting one stream out of it. I'm never going to be returning to the game. I can already sense that after playing it a little while, I'm going to want to uninstall it. But either way, I will be on stream with that game. I just need to sort out this, at least to a position where I can feel comfortable with it. Like, I'm alright right now. It's pulling a little, but I'm alright right now. But I could literally just, like, this is fine. Everything's fine, except for there's a bit of burning going down the outside of my upper arm there. Other than that, I'm kind of alright. But I could literally just put my arm in one position, feel a clunk, and then all of a sudden it's game over for a good 20 minutes, half hour. I don't want to try and force it. It feels like it's going to just literally snap if I lift my arm up sometimes. Holy, I feel it twitching under my finger there. Do you know what I mean? It's really frustrating, and like basically the position I have to be in to be on keyboard and mouse is uncomfortable at the minute with this. The position I have to be in for a controller doesn't work with what I'm waiting for the operation for. So I'm kind of a bit screwed. But I will play Half Sword very, very soon. Just keep watching out for it. But obviously modding's coming up. We've got modding on this. We'll start talking about other stuff. I want to have a look to see if I can see any sort of way or suggestions that I can give to you guys to keep you, if you need a PC, is there still a way to get that at a reasonable value? And there is still ways, but you need to understand that any suggestion that I do put up are not going to last forever. Each one's going to rely on how long it stays sort of like just not in the limelight, ignored as such. It all depends how long these things get ignored for. Oh. So plenty of content coming up. I refuse to let this fucking DRAM crisis impact me too deeply. Pissed off because obviously I'm leaving 20% of my CPU on the table by not being able to upgrade to that other motherboard. But it will come, it will happen. We just gotta wait out the storm, guys. Just gotta wait out the storm. Like I said, I will get that over-engineered gearbox mount. I'll get that uploaded as soon as I can get down the garage to record the end result, the finished it in and done. Also, I will get on to repairing that Xbox as soon as I can get down to the garage to go grab the Xbox. That same day that I go grab that stuff is probably going to be the same day that I'll go do the PlayStation, so we've got that coming up. We've got plenty of little things coming up, so stay tuned. We'll stick around, and we'll be having a look at games. We're going to be having a look at hardware, going to be modding stuff, we're going to be tinkering with stuff. We're going to be seeing what we can do to keep value down but still get PCs out to people. It's going to be a fun first half of the year battling the situation. So I like a challenge, and I want to see if I can help you guys out. So if you like the content and and you don't mind listening to me rambling on, because these videos happen occasionally, like and subscribe and all that jazz. Don't forget to hit the notification button, and hopefully you all have a wonderful start to your 2026. Hopefully all this is going to sort out, and like I said, we've got moving PCs, we've got upgrades and stuff to get on with. So yeah, stay tuned, guys, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Thanks for watching. Love you, bye. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, share.
Like and subscribe. Thank you.